Good evening, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Wind Down Fridays. This is your girl, Author Erica, and I have my fabulous co-host, Author Kim, on with me today.
Hey.
It's Friday. Happy Friday. I hope everybody's doing good on this Friday. Our Fridays for May gonna be a little bit different. As you all know, Mother's Day is May 9th. So what we're gonna do on Give a Sister a Wind Down Fridays will Give a Sister a Hug. We're gonna honor all our mothers during this Mother's Day period. Just like we did for what it was, February. We're gonna
Yep.
do the same thing for mothers and me. So today our first guest is T, and she's a part of our little sisterhood too.
Yep.
She's our sister too. So she's gonna talk about her being a mother with a child with special needs, a teenager, being a wife, being a full time worker, and an entrepreneur all at the same time. And as y'all know, we as women, we wear so many hats, and she wearing them all. And we're gonna find out how is that for her, like how have life been treating her. So T, thanks for taking time out on this
Yes.
Friday evening to talk about motherhood. So
Thanks
happy
for
mother,
having me.
early mothers, happy her early Mother's Day. So
Thank you.
we're
Thank
gonna
you.
give you the flow. Go ahead.
Well, yes, I'm T. I have a 3-year-old. I have a 7-year-old. My younger two children are boys. I have a 14-year-old daughter. I do work with people who have autism. My 7-year-old has autism. He has Asperger's. Super high functioning, but he could be a little bit socially awkward. And he also has other, um, I guess you could say, aspects of the autism spectrum disorder. Um, So again, I work with people who have autism, and I also run my own company where I make jewelry. So I make beaded bracelets, anklets, waist beads, bangles, Pandora inspired earrings, and necklaces. And we're looking to add a few more things to the collection soon. So definitely do that as well. I'm also a wife. I've been married. It'll be 5 years in July. Me and my husband, we reside in Columbus. I'm originally from Cleveland, and we have a dog.
And we have a dog. She's a mama to a dog too. So
Yeah.
how
Exactly.
is like how is we're gonna start off, just tell us how you balance what a day look like in your world as a mama. And we talking that's what the kids, we're gonna say what the kids going to school in the morning. What a day like that look like for you?
So honestly, the first part of your question was how do I balance it? I wouldn't be able to balance anything without my planner. Boom, right here. Um, I keep track of everything in that in between my calendar on my phone and my calendar, my real planner, physical planner. I keep track of everything like that. So I have to be very organized. I have to set schedules. I have to set strict schedules and stick to them. Otherwise, it'll be chaotic. And yes, it's definitely times where um, the day doesn't go as planned, but you also have to have a plan B in some cases. So
Right.
there's that. And as far as how does a day go? So typically Monday through Friday, I wake up at about 5:36, get the kids up. We're all dressed and out the house by 7.
Wow.
Yep, I drop my teenager off first and then I drop off the boys. Then I grab me some coffee and I typically head to work. I work first shift. I get off between 3 and 6. Um, when I get off, my husband, he'll grab the boys. So I just come home. Either I cook or he cooks. My daughter has different chore days. We kind of all share responsibilities around the house.
Great.
'Cause depending on how I feel after working and everything, I get in the lab and make a couple bracelets, fill orders. I'm typically in the lab at least 5 days out the week, and then I'm off on the weekends. So weekends are totally dedicated to bracelet making and filling orders and, just making sure I catch up on inventory and make sure everything is in stock and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot, that's a lot. So we're gonna talk, and I know you say your son have autism. Let's talk about that. Like, how is that being a mama? Just knowing that, what was your first reaction when you found out he had it, and how do you balance all? What's his day look like? Do he have up and down days?
Definitely. Absolutely. So when I initially found out, I mean, I wasn't really shocked when we got the final diagnosis because as a parent, you kind of already know when something isn't right, so to speak.
Right.
Um, so
Right.
I was basically pushing for him to get different tests done and, things like that. And once they went ahead and finalized, his diagnosis like 2.5, 3 years later, after like me starting the process, I was just like, okay, cool. Now I know what's going on. Now I can just kind of learn different techniques and, learn any and everything I can, just to be honest with you, to better support him. Because what some people fail to realize is in their mind, they chilling. Ain't nothing going on. They're normal. We the
Mhm.
ones that, acting crazy.
Right.
So I have to put myself in a position to be able to better support him.
Hmm.
And his days, I don't know what his days look like because they be all crazy as hell. Like some days we get up in the morning and he be on point, and other days it's like I have to give him step by step directions one by one. He does have bad days, but it's not to the point where like he'll have like emotional meltdowns. He doesn't have like physically aggressive behaviors often. Like he may get upset and like probably knock some shit over, but it's not as bad as how other parents may have it. So
Right.
Right.
he be chilling for the most part.
And that could be a challenge. So when he have these bad days, how does that alter the schedule? Does that push the schedule back? Does that kind of take the schedule to a new direction when he's on his off days? And I know he probably don't have off days often, right?
Mhm. So when he's having an off day, the schedule's out the window. We just gonna wing it, and that's just that. We just gonna wing it for the day. Um, as long as he's fed, bathed, in the bed by about 8:30, 9 o'clock successfully, we good.
So you made it through that off day, and I mean that just pushed everything off on schedule
Right.
because now you have to take that time just solely for him. Just putting all
Yep.
that energy and that time and to make sure he's successful because that's
Yep.
basically what it is. Like we just making sure he's successful to be successful during his day. So as
Right.
I know you say you have a teenager, like what, and then a girl, like how is that having that teenager? You go from all right, I just had the other one, he had a little off there. Now I have a teenager. So how is that life being a mother of a teenager, especially in these days and time?
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I wish that parenting or adulting or life period came with a manual, but it doesn't. So again, a lot of stuff I wing. Um, a lot of times we grow up and we have certain examples of like discipline and how things should be, how you should raise your children. And what may work for one child doesn't always work for the other. So,
Right.
it's kind of like a seesaw, when one is up, the other's down, and when the other's down, the other one is up. So
Right.
I try not to beat ass as much as I probably could. Um, but yeah, man, I just honestly, I be winging it. I just kind of like I'm also at a place where I'm growing emotionally and spiritually, and I'm just realizing that a lot of shit that I did in the past didn't work. And just to have better boundaries and build better bonds going forward. I just try to look at each situation different. I don't always, lead with the anger. Sometimes, I'm a human, so that shit gets the best of me. But yeah, as
Hmm.
far as like how does this parenting thing go? I mean, I hate to say that I wing it, but I do. I just know that I try to mold them to be the best individuals that they can be. Because at the
And
end
that's
of
all
the
you
day,
can do.
yeah, I mean, just let them do what they're gonna do within parameter.
Right.
Kind of like bowling with the little things up on the side. You
Hmm.
just they do all this crazy shit, and you just be on the side like this with them. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to make sure everybody go down the right road, which is
Right.
also
right,
important, especially these days and times, because everything changed so much. And as her being a teenager, how is what that life is with having a teenager and a girl teenager.
let me snooze that. It's a lot different than when I was a teenager. Like, a lot of things they're more exposed to a lot. Um, they have more accessibility to a lot of shit. Um,
Hmm.
so it's kind of like I know what I did, and I know that she ain't doing none of that. So it's kind of like I'm lenient, and I give her a lot of, space and grace. But a teenage girl, gonna be a teenage girl.
regardless.
All
Hmm.
three of us was teenage girls at one point, so we know how we was. Like even if in our minds we weren't that, we know at some point, like we was talking shit. We know at some point,
Hmm. Smelling our
that,
drawers,
yeah,
as they
yeah.
say.
We know
In
at
the
some
draws. Yes.
yeah, we
Yes.
know, like we know at some point we was lying, we was sneaking, and we was thinking
Yep.
that nobody know shit, cause don't
Yep.
ain't nobody going through what's going on, right? All of that dumb shit. So
Yeah. Yep.
it's definitely everything that you hear about.
Facts.
Everything.
Facts,
So do you
ma'am.
have this
Facts.
do what your daughter, do you have like this open door policy or this open thing where you can come, we can talk about everything, or you just try to keep it knit?
Absolutely. So, as a parent, let me not say that. You would hope that most or all parents have it to where, you can come and talk to your child can come and talk to you
Family
about
stuff.
everything.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
so I definitely make it known that if it's an issue or a problem, you can come to me.
Hmm.
But what I need to work on is my reaction
Okay.
Hmm.
because I keep it a little too real. So it's kind of like, if you do some crazy shit, I'm gonna be like, bruh, like, would you,
Hmm.
but and if it's some shit that is like damn, that was some real shit, then I just be like, oh, okay, like it's working. My parents, the things are working. So I definitely have an open door policy, and she knows she can come talk to me about anything.
Mhm. Yeah, because some girls can't. You have girls that just can't talk to their mamas about anything because sometimes it's the Christian, well, you're not supposed to do this, or you're not supposed to do that, or some parents just try to shield their kids from the outside world. And this world change a lot. Like this world will eat you up and spit you
Yes,
out
it will.
if
Hmm.
you're not prepared. Because I'm 38 years old and I still have certain conversations with my mama because we have those girly talks, and she if I say something she looking at me strange because it's like, girl, we didn't do that when we was growing up. So we do have this open communication to where we talk a lot. And I think our talking came in really late because I was always the kind of, like, I was the youngest, so I just might stay to myself most of the time. But I think it's important that girls do have that open communication because there's just so much out here that's going on. That we don't want to shield them. We don't want to keep it too real, but at the same time, we don't want to shield them to saying, no, you can't do that or don't do that. Because eventually we did dumb shit, like jumping out the window. Some of us did, trying to
Hmm.
sneak off. So it's things we did, so we don't want to shield them from the whole boyfriend. Hell, she started talking about the boyfriend kind of thing.
Nah, not
Thank
yet.
God.
She just chilling.
Look, thank God. Whew, that's the one thing. So how have it been? Is it with the kids? Everybody have their own personality. Everybody is their own little individual. How you deal with everybody' personality and be successful in a whole day?
Honestly, you just kind of got to match energy. So, like, it's
Okay.
sometimes where, like, my youngest son, he's always like in an upbeat mood. Like, he's always laughing, joking, giggling or whatever. Um, I laugh and joke and giggle with him too if I'm in the mood for it. If not, then he goes to his dad and he does that. You just have to know it's kind of like dealing with people on an everyday basis. Like your children are just regular people too, just little people. So
Yep.
I'm the same way I would do with anybody else. Like if you in a mood and you don't feel like being bothered, all right, talk to you later. If you want to be up under me and watch movies, okay, come on, because we're gonna watch Law and Order. But
Right.
just
We
like
don't want
my
a lot of
girlfriend
that.
watching in the heat of the night.
Right.
Right. Does
I
that
ain't
still
heard that
come
name in a
on?
long time. I ain't heard that in a
I
long
know, like,
time.
is that still coming on TV? I thought they took it off at one time.
I don't even know, honestly.
So how have been a mother? And we're gonna let's take it back. Have you had anything that of doubting to see yourself being a mama, or this was just something that was like, okay, but it happened, but I'm gonna go ahead on and work with this. So have you always wanted to be a mama? Because you got some
Nope,
girls be like, I want to be a mama when I grow up.
absolutely not. So I have a lot of siblings. I have I'm the oldest out of 5 girls and 1 boy. So I have
Wow.
3 sisters on one side and 2 sisters and a brother on the other side. And my youngest sibling is 10, and my oldest sibling is 30. So it's like it's a variety of ages.
Okay.
Um, I'm 34, so just kind of growing up because I was always around kids, I didn't want to have none. But
Mhm.
then, you
Life
get out your
happens.
mother's house, and my mother was strict. So when I got out of her house, I just was like, I got my jerry beads. Is what I
Yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
So the baby came with the jerry beads, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna roll with it. Like I had
Hmm.
support. My mother supported me like crazy. Um, I had help. I had a village. So
Which is
it
good.
wasn't like I didn't look at it like, damn, my life is over. I just was like, oh, okay, we kicking it. I just got a little person with me all the time now. That's not a sibling, and
Right.
that's how we moved. We just we grew up together. We kicked it.
So you had her after you graduated from high school?
Yeah, I had it when I
Okay,
was
that was
19.
good.
Mm,
So that was like that was good because some girls have their first child and they're in school, which takes a whole nother route because now you got to figure out school schedule and go and have this little person with you. So which was
right,
good.
right.
So you and you was with the daddy or you was by yourself when you had your daughter.
So we were not together, no.
Gotcha.
Mm. I
Okay.
mean,
So
we
when
were, but then we ended up splitting like after she was born.
Gotcha. So I know you say you married now. So how was that? I know you was by yourself as a single mom. So how was that transition from going from a single mom to a married mom? What a baby
So
coming along in that situation.
so when I met my husband, I was still living in Cleveland. About a year after we met, I moved down here. We had been dating for like 6 months, and I had already wanted to leave Cleveland anyway. So 6 months after moving down here, I got pregnant. So it was kind of like a transition because this was his first time being a parent. Sometimes I feel like I had one up on him because I'm not new to this parenting life. I'm true to this parenting life.
Right.
It just was, like we both had some stuff that we had to overcome, some obstacles. We both had challenges because he thought he was right in some cases because he was fresh, and I thought I was right in most cases because I had been doing it.
You've been
Um,
there, done that, right?
right,
Hmm.
right. But it was a smooth transition. I mean, it wasn't too bad. We both still like have different parenting styles, but now it works because sometimes, again, all of our kids have different personalities. So my parenting style is gonna be the same. Like if I feel like you on some bullshit, you either gonna get yelled at or you gonna get your ass whooped. And he's more of the talker. Like he's the cool parent.
So
So
is that a good is the good guy and the bad guy kind of thing? And
Right.
normally the daddy is always the good guy because he's not trying to make, especially his daughter, he's not trying to make her unhappy with him anyway. So
that's
normally that
exactly
the daddy is always the good guy anyway. So
that is it.
how being a mama and looking at it, like, is it some things that you will have changed that you did
Mm-mm.
now, or would you just keep doing the same thing but just kind of upgrading?
I probably would go about discipline a little bit different just because like a lot of stuff that I thought that I wasn't doing that my mom did, it turned out I was doing just in a different
In
form.
a different way. Hmm.
Right. So it's like my mother, she was super strict, definitely got ass whoopings. It was definitely a lot of shit that as an
Oh, not
adult,
ass whooping.
yeah, man. I'm like, as an adult, I don't want to do to my kids, but then I found myself doing it just in a different way. So if anything, if I was to do anything different, it would be to have more patience when it came to disciplining them, and
Hmm.
especially when they do shit that they may not know is wrong because it's just trial and error.
Hmm.
But outside of that, I wouldn't do nothing different.
But it's good because as a mama, and I hear my mama always used to say she didn't want to do what her mama did. She wanted to be a little
Yeah.
bit better. So
Right.
is
Yep.
that something that all mamas think, even with Kim, is that something that you thought about too when you was when your kids was growing up, that I don't want to be like my mom, but I want to be a little bit better than what my mama did to me, and I want to do it different from her.
Um, I actually kind of wanted to be like my mom, just because the way I was raised was, my father was in the home, even though he was not the disciplinarian, but we feared him. He wasn't that type of father that, let's go do this X, Y, and Z. He was in the house, but that was it. My mother made sure the house was clean. She didn't have to work. She made sure when he came home by 4 o'clock, his dinner and stuff was ready. It was either it was done or was at the end finishing stage of being done. It was like a certain routine, and I thought that was kind of cool. But now, because I can't cook, so.
What
Yeah.
about you, T? Like you look when you was growing up and your mama was raising you, do you see things that you did or wanted to do better than what your mom, not better but different, of raising your
Oh yeah,
kids?
for sure. Like, so, on my mom's side with my siblings, I was 10, 12, and 14 years older. So it's almost like she had more leniency with them. My
Mm,
mom was super strict when it was just me and her, and then my mom had been through a lot, so
mm-hmm,
through a lot. Um, my ideal marriage is my grandparents. So, kind of the same as Kim. Like, my grandmother, she worked, but she only worked for her pocket and spending money. My grandfather always took care of the house and
mm-hmm,
her. So her money was her money, and his money was for the house, the bills, and
mm-hmm,
her money. But he still was able to do as he wanted. Um, she was the same way, like, always making sure dinner was cooked, always making his plates. And my grandfather never left my grandmother's side. So, like, even to this day, like, she had a couple of knee replacement surgeries. He had a hospital right there next to her. Don't even go home to take a shower. He'd be, let me get this
Right.
shower from here, clean that out for me. Um,
mm-hmm.
anything. Like, if I was to go in the hospital right now, he would be that same way because he's super protective. So, like, I wanted my marriage to be like that, but I didn't want to be how my mom was as far as like her habits as far as relationships and her trends and those cycles. My mother was a damn good mother and wife. I will say that though, because she was the same way, like making sure dinner was cooked. She made sure them kids was bathed and stuff. I can't really think of too many times of my stepfather like having to put my siblings in a tub or stuff like that unless he wanted to.
Right.
He was also the provider. Like he would just come home and cash check and give it to my mom, or just endorse it and then give it to my mom. She would cash it. So
Wow. Mhm.
I definitely wanted to be that type of wife, to be taken care of, not necessarily taken care of, but to be provided for by my husband,
Provided for, yeah.
allow him to take the lead. But
Mm-hmm,
as far as like some of the stuff that my mom did, I was cool on.
mm-hmm.
That was cool. So being when you first became a mom, when you first had your child, was you scared? Like, did anything
Oh yeah.
fear set in on you? What was the main thing that you were scared about? Just feeling that child, or just worrying about everything total, like food, clothes, this, that, the normal stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely so what you don't even realize, but you do kind of realize it's very frightening. Like when you go home with this little thing, you are from that moment on in charge of keeping this thing alive, safe,
Mm-hmm,
yet
mm-hmm,
out of trouble. You
mm-hmm.
have to worry about how they're gonna be to society. You got to worry about how they're gonna represent your bloodline, your name. You feel me? You got to worry about like all type of crazy shit. And then too, like there are some cases to where no matter what you do as a parent, your kid gonna be how the fuck your kid gonna be. And you don't never know how your kid gonna be. So you think they're reaching in the adoption bag is something some fucking scary, some shit. Just you don't know how these kids gonna be. You don't know what outside effects is gonna take hold to them.
Yep,
So
yep,
absolutely, I think I've been scared for the last 15 years straight.
yep.
Wow. Right.
I mean,
And
I'm
that's
still
what,
scared. I'm still. I mean, my baby just turned 24 on the 4th of February. No, of April. I'm gonna get it together on the 4th of April, and I'm still scared. I mean, and
Yeah,
I get that. I totally get that.
I
The
mean,
world is
even as
crazy.
me, I don't even have a kid, but I raised my nephew. But it's scary to me. Like, you have to, you responsible for that little mouth. You're responsible
Mhm.
for everything with that little person. And if you make the slight fuck up, that little person can go either way. So
Mhm.
I was like, that, it's a lot. And I thought about it even with my nephew, like, okay, did I do that right? Or did I say this right to him? Did he really
Mhm.
understand it? And it's just all, I guess it's just a matter of, as they're growing up, you see, okay, well, I did do that right. I did say this right to him, because even now I look at my little nephew and he's 24, 25 years old, and he's really, he have his setback. He had a setback in time where he went to jail, but I'm glad that kind of got in his head, because now he's like, I ain't going back there no more. The boy got 2 jobs now. So something set in, and we know they're gonna have those little moments of they might fall off.
Yeah.
But we can't be mad with them falling off because we made mistakes at the end of the day.
Right, absolutely. Like the other night I was, and this is kind of different, but this is still just me worrying. The other night I was up, matter of fact, Easter. Everybody drink on Easter, so we was full of wine and cocktails and all that good stuff. It was about 12 something, close to 1 o'clock in the morning. And so I was laying in the bed, damn near knocked out, and I was just like, let me go check on Drew. And I hopped up on my bed and went in the room and checked on him. Just because I knew I hadn't laid eyes on him before I got my ass in the bed.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
like for me as a parent, and this is just a different side of fear or anxiety or whatever. Every
Mhm.
night before I close my eyes, I have to lay eyes on each one of my kids and make sure that they breathing, make sure that they cool, tell them good.
Mhm.
Love 'em. My kids be knocked out, snoring, sleep. I be
Mhm.
like,
Uh-huh. Mhm.
just
Mhm.
and like there's that fear that and my daughter's 14. Some things you just never get over. She's not gonna die from SIDS. Neither is my
Mhm.
3-year-old, I don't think. But it's just that thing that I'm like, I need to go in there because even though he can roll and get up, he's 3. He's very self-sufficient. But what if he suffocate? That's just something I'm thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
As
yeah,
a
you
mama, I guess that's that motherly instinct that you
Right.
have. Like you just
Mhm.
worrying about, well, oh wait, I don't think he ate today, or I don't think she did this today. So I guess this is just that motherly instinct that you have all the time with your kids. So what have been some of your pros and cons as a mother?
mm, the pros are the continuous education. Like you constantly learning something. Um, constantly finding out new things about yourself and your kids.
Mhm.
Constantly learning new stuff about the world because your kids gonna teach you a lot. Um, I think the cons are, for me, the first way that I did it. But outside of that,
Do you even with your son with autistic?
mhm,
Are you scared of him just coming out in this world, because we have so many people that don't understand and so many people that take advantage? Is that one of your fears as he get older and wanting to transition to being out and being independent?
it is. But that goes back to me saying I just want to be able to support him in the ways, like just prepare him. So like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get him in some self-defense classes. He knows that he has autism. He knows what it is. He knows some of the side effects. He knows that. Honestly, what's so funny is I told him that most mostly everybody with autism is like super smart in their own way.
Mhm.
One day he told his father, he was like, "Yeah, I think you have autism," and it was funny as hell because he was dead serious. But yeah, I mean, you always worry about how they're gonna be when they get out in the world, but I think that I'm gonna do a damn good job. Or if I don't, I know my team will. Like our whole village is just gonna make sure that where we can't protect him, he's able to protect and fend for himself.
Right.
He's so smart, like he just won't. Like my biggest concern right now is like a bully. I think he'll be able to function in the world on some cool shit, but it's always those people who try to down you and try to hurt you because of what they lack or what they don't understand.
Facts.
These are the
Yeah.
people I'm afraid of.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
I,
so
I
Kim,
get
you
you.
worry about that all the time too
Oh
with
yeah,
your
I worry
son?
about that. Yeah, I worry about that because my oldest, who will be 26 this year, um, he had a lot of, issues as well. He was on the spectrum as well. So you can tell, it's like when you see him, he looks normal. But sometimes having like that in-depth conversation, is not there.
Right.
And it can get frustrating because you like, okay, you're grown, but you have to remember that he doesn't think like everybody else and he
Yeah.
doesn't do things like everybody else. And even though he wants to be, well,
Treated
he is
as an
grown.
adult.
Yeah, he's grown. You still have to remember that, everything is not what it's supposed to be. And
Right.
my fear is, you know, people do take advantage, He's very impressionable, very, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't like that. I don't like that at all. And then it's like, okay, I have to let him grow, but I'm still the mama. Cause
Right.
I'm gonna fuck you up on my child. So
Period.
and we grown, but don't do it. Don't do it. Cause
That's
mama's
what
not
made me have
wrapped
a
too
little
tight.
lamb.
Don't fuck with her kid. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it boiled down to. Don't fuck with the kids. You know what I'm saying? They, some didn't ask to be here, some did ask to be here, and they're still at the end of the day, they're here. So, we are out here parenting the best way that we know how and trying to raise them up to be, awesome little
The best
people.
people that they can be.
Yeah,
And then
Yeah.
sometimes it could be a challenge,
it
and
is.
that's my thing because I have a little niece that's dyslexia. My little niece have dyslexia, and at first it was always like, we was like something, she just, and actually she's doing okay. She's doing better than what I thought she was gonna do with that because by her learning different and by her doing things different, I thought it was gonna be a challenge as
Mm-hmm.
she get older. And now she have two kids, so she still a little batshit crazy. But other than that, because we all got a little that in us. But other than her, with dealing with her dyslexia and being a mom, and
Mm-hmm.
she really did good with it. She really did better than what we kind of thought it was gonna be like. Because Lisa, the type of person, Lisa is laid back. So Lisa is really just gonna do her own little thing in her world. But just knowing
Mhm.
that she have dyslexia, you worry about people taking advantage
Right.
because people do take advantage, and that's very scary.
It
Yeah.
And
is.
it's sad that people do take advantage of people when their
Mm-hmm.
shortcomings. They use their shortcomings as something to take advantage of them. So I know that as for you with your son, that was something that I was worried about. Like, is that something that you worry about when he get older? Just want to keep him under you and still, and he want to grow. So do he
Mm-hmm.
want to be? Do you have a problem with him when he want to do? I want to keep you here, but he want to go there. He want to be out there. Do you have that problem with him, or is that something that you scared of when he do, make that move to try to go out in the world?
So here's the thing, and this is really short. I'm not worried. If he want to do it, he can do it. We gonna do it. But bet nobody fuck with him while he doing it. Cause
Right.
I don't want to be too far behind.
Right.
So
Right.
he can go out there, like if he want to play basketball, by all means. As a matter of fact, my husband signed them up for basketball. You can go out there, you can play basketball, but if another parent gets to hooting and hollering some bullshit because you don't pass the ball to their kid because you ain't thought about it, I'm gonna fuck that parent up. And that's
Oh,
and that's on
we
Mary had a
busting
little
ass.
lamb. And that's on Mary had a little lamb.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Saying for the people in the back.
Right. That is on my head, little lamb. That part. Cause
Right.
don't do
It's
it.
it
Because
is
we
it's
adults, you feel me? Like, and sometimes adults can be worse to kids than
Yes.
yes.
kids. Like,
Yes.
and somebody, they got the right one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I ain't too worried because I know Ty's gonna be cool because I'm gonna be right behind him.
Right.
Go ahead, because I'm out
Right.
here. You ain't even
Right.
got to worry about that.
Right.
You
Right.
ain't even got to worry about that.
I don't know if you what's her name, Damo. I think yeah, Damo. She's like this YouTuber or whatever, and she has a son who's autistic, and they were at her and her family were at a restaurant, and what threw me the most
What if
really
the lady
was
was staring at him, huh?
it was white women who came up to her and was like, can you keep him quiet down? And of course, she tells everybody, he's autistic, but she tries to keep. I mean, he's from what I see, he seems like a very manageable,
Well, he's a child.
but he's a child. I think Wick is maybe 3,
3,
4, somewhere
3,
in there.
yeah. But he's still
So
a child. How you make a child sit
exactly.
down?
Like, how do you make? I mean, how you gonna sit up there and can you keep him? Can you tell him to be quiet? Wait a minute, pause. Then you need to take your ass to the house. If you want to be in silence, then you need to go home
And
because
being
we out
silent, because
here.
this is a public place.
Right. It is,
And see, I
and
done
he's
told
not
her.
being like irate and throwing
Right.
shit like most white kids do. I'm just saying he wasn't doing it. He just they have some of them when they stem, he has certain
Exactly.
noises or he starts clapping and things like that. That's his release. Let him do that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
the white lady had a problem with that. Not today.
Well,
Not
go your
today,
ass
Karen.
home.
No, I
Not
wouldn't even went that far with it. She just would have like, can you tell him to be quiet? No, but I can tell you to be quiet. You can shut the fuck up.
I
Exactly.
think
How
it
do
kind of went like that.
Well, I
And
get
then
the holler.
yeah, I
you
think
know,
it kind of went like
but
that.
even for a normal 4-year-old, 3-year-old, what
Right.
4-year-old, 3-year-old is
Exactly.
gonna sit in a chair, and then if we out in public, especially because I bet her mom, because her mama and her little brother they always together.
Right.
So what?
Mhm.
And got another child with them, they're gonna have fun. So what normal 3 or 4-year-old you gonna make sit
None.
down?
None. Because my 3-year-old don't sit on it. He atypical as hell.
So, and people just, that's the thing that I feel about, I don't know. I think with any kid especially with kids with disabilities, because they got some ignorant ass people in this world.
Yeah.
And you try to shield their feelings because you don't want them, nobody to hurt their feelings at all. They got some ignorant ass people in this world that
It
will say
is.
shit to a
It is.
child. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what that child did you? That child didn't do you nothing.
Right. Again, he's a child. You're an adult. There's a difference.
A big difference.
A big age difference. Big. So,
Yeah.
like, sit down. Get somewhere and sit down. Who
Go
not
get that
today,
damn
say?
steak and shut up.
Right.
Not today, say. Like, she literally, like, she had to calm herself down, but she had to pull out her camera because she needed, not necessarily she needed, but it's just the footage of showing people it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how much money you got. It doesn't matter where you are in life. It's
Mm-hmm.
people out here that is ignorant and don't have a problem with saying ignorant shit to you. But then
They
as
don't.
soon as you defend yourself, what?
Right. Woe is me. No. Keep
What
that
just
same energy.
happened? Because I just politely said,
No, you
can
didn't.
you keep him quiet? Bitch, if you don't get the fuck up out my face.
That's just
Keep
like I
it
went to
quiet. How you gonna keep? You tell me how you keep a 4 or 3-year-old quiet.
I had to I was getting ready to smack the shit out of this older white lady when I was in Chuck E. Cheese for my son's 4th birthday. I literally watched her from across the room take my son's hand like this to take the little whack-a-mole thing out of it because he snatched it from her granddaughter. She gonna tell me I need to teach him how to play right. I said, lady, I will fuck you up in here. The only thing that stopped me from tearing her ass to shreds was my 8.5-month pregnant stomach.
She would have got her ass whooped too.
And my friend Lakita, rest in peace. My friend Lakita, she stepped in and was like, hey, T, you is wild. And she said, I didn't even see no color in your eyes, bitch. You look like the devil. I said, because I was getting ready to take her fucking head
Hold on,
and
Marie.
smash it into the machine.
Right. Right.
Because don't take you, like, where the fuck do you get off at snatching something from my son?
A
Lady,
child at that.
I will beat you with this fucking hammer. The face.
Right. Don't play with the kids. Don't play with the kids. The kids ain't done nothing.
And that's
They
not
are
for
so
any little.
innocent.
I was tapping this lady's forehead. My stomach was up on her stomach. We was touching. I was tapping this lady's
So y'all
forehead.
was about to go in. Y'all was
really,
about to have this fight.
and it wasn't even right here. I was tapping the side of it, like, bitch, you touch my fucking son. And I hate to get ghetto on here, but I was like, you.
What you have to? That's your baby. Like, that's my
Right.
baby.
Cub alone. Leave my little cub alone. My little puppy.
Right.
Leave my puppy
I mean,
alone.
I think for me, it's any child.
Yeah.
If I see anybody messed up with a child, like, it don't have to necessarily be mine, because guess what? That little
Oh, yeah, I
person
don't say that about the
that
kids.
little person cannot fight you, but I damn sure can.
Facts.
I don't care
I'll
about
find the
nobody.
little person mama
Facts.
later, but you're not gonna just do that little person or anything because you can do it, and especially if you're doing it because you know you can get away
Can
with it.
do it.
Now we got a problem. So I'm gonna fight for this little person, no matter if the mama or daddy around. But you're just not gonna do what you want to do to that little person.
Facts. I
So
tell
you
And
I
you
know,
know,
tell all the little people, call me because I blend in with the kids. Just call me
yep.
because I'm short. Come on, and I'm just gonna walk up in there. I'm gonna wear her ass out, and then I'm gonna take
you
my
said
ass on
how
the
old she
girl.
was? Oh, she was 4. All right.
Right.
Goodbye.
Right. Right. Don't
Oh,
do
I could be 4 too. Like it's
I go get one of my little
crazy.
siblings.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
like it is
Get
a
on in
mess.
there.
So, and I'm glad that you wanted to share that with us, and with the world. So before we go, what you have for the other mamas, even we talk about the single moms and we talk about all moms in general. What you have, what little thing that you have, or little technique that'll work for you. And you could either give us a technique either for a mom with special needs child. So
Just know, like stop being so hard on yourself as a parent. Because one thing that we fail to realize as parents is that to our children, we are the best parent because they don't know the other parent. Like it's one thing to hear, about your friends' parents and all that, but they don't know what that's like. They know what you're
Right.
like. And so
Right.
don't be so hard on yourself because at the end of the day, the only thing that you can do is your very best, and they're gonna love you for that regardless. Especially when it comes to like having children with special needs. Don't look at it as a bad thing. Don't look at it as a curse. Don't look at it as, what have I done wrong? Just look at it as God said, you're special enough as a person to raise this person. I can't trust this person with nobody else but you. From me to you. Just look at it as a gift from God, no matter what. If they can't fucking walk and do nothing,
Mm-hmm.
God can't trust that specific soul with anybody but you.
Mm-hmm.
And what you gonna do with that? You
Yep.
gonna you gonna fuck it over and just be woe is me, or you gonna
Right.
figure out ways to support your child and allow them to become the best person that they can be? Because children with disabilities don't know that they have fucking disabilities.
Right.
They don't know until we tell them.
Right.
So the best thing that you can do as a parent of a child with disabilities is treat them like you would treat your other children. Treat them like a normal person. Figure out ways to support them, to help them become them, who they're meant to be. And just
Mm-hmm.
rock out with that shit. And definitely, oh, you know, I don't really know how people are gonna take this, but I'm gonna say it because I'm a blunt person. Buy fucking alcohol. If you're over the age of 21, get some fucking liquor in your house because you're gonna need it. There's nothing wrong with taking a shot or two, but drink responsibly
Responsibly.
within your house. Don't drive. If you can hold your baby, you can breastfeed your baby. We all know the rules. But yeah, just don't be so hard on yourself because if you stress yourself out trying to be the best parent out here in the world, and you fuck around and have a stroke, then your child gonna be without any type of parent. You get what I'm saying? So ain't
Mm-hmm.
no what it is. You just got to do your best.
Mm-hmm.
Seek help from your village. Talk to people that you trust. Vent, cry, go in the bathroom and cry. There's this really a such thing as the mom cry in the shower. Go do that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yep.
Lord, with that one.
Drop them kids off and go scream at the park where ain't nobody gonna hear.
right.
Do what you gotta do.
X. Do what you
Go to
gotta
the gun
do.
range. I don't know. Well, maybe I should probably take that last one out.
Uh,
Can you edit that out?
it's okay because sometimes that is a good way to let out some frustration. So yeah, that's a good out. I mean, they do have, what is it, Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday here that you go. Women are 50% off, or if not free, and all you paying for is your bullets, and have at it. Release that stress, and then go back home, and we fine.
And bake some cookies. Bake some fucking cookies.
Right.
Cookies every now and then. So, fabulous co-host, you have anything for our guest today?
Um. So, who has been your shero in your life?
Wow.
She said, "Wow."
Let me think. I got a couple bad bitches in my life. Like they
Oh,
definitely be out here. Oh, sorry. I mean, and I call them that because they really be out here killing the mom game. Like, my best friend, she is crazy. She literally had her son like a week before she walked the stage to get her master's.
Wow.
oh, come
And she,
on.
yeah, so like, my mother for everything that she has withstood. My little sister AJ is phenomenal out here. Like
Mm-hmm.
and you never, not to say this in a bad way, but you never know the type of parent that somebody will be.
Yeah.
But she is kicking motherhood's ass. Like she is out here killing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Definitely my grandmother, my other best friend, Shannon, she out here with her two girls. She out here showing them how the fuck it's supposed to be done as a single woman, as a single mother. So yeah, I can't, honestly, I don't have no deadbeat moms around me.
Right.
Well, that's good though. That's
Well,
good
that's a
though.
good thing.
Yeah, that's good though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would have to give my Shiro belt to my mom though. Yeah, definitely my mom.
Good reads. Good reads. That's what I'm talking about. Mom's it's a she-ro. Oh, sorry.
Her name
So,
Kim too.
His name who?
Her name Kim.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Oh, but
sure
you
look
know what?
crazy.
Tell
I
her I
gotta.
said, hey girl. Yeah.
I will. And before I got one more. My godmother, and her name is Kim. And when I
Okay.
tell you,
Oh,
like,
sorry. No.
it's all type of Kims. But
Yes.
she has always, like, she's shown me the true definition of being a godparent.
Mm,
Sometimes these women, they be like, oh, that's my god kid, buy him a pair of Jordans and put them on the ground. Like, my godmother has been in my life for all of my life. If I call
mm-hmm.
her right now and say I need to come over, she live in Virginia, she gonna be like, all right, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Because she know I ain't getting there today. But she there. She
Right.
always been there. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely both of the Kims in my life.
That's a good one. So
Yeah.
we happy to have you on Wind Down Fridays will give us a hug, just sharing your love, motherhood. And I just want to say that I'm proud of you because you take this and you just go, hey,
Yes.
I know kids don't come with this little great manual because if they did, we'll all mamas will be doing good. They wouldn't be stressed out. They wouldn't be having anxiety attack. But as a mom, you do your best. And guess what?
Yep.
You don't apologize for that. You did that.
Yep.
You keep them moving, but you
Yep.
make good decisions and right path to make sure that they become these little successful people in this world.
Thank
Right.
We don't know what they're gonna do. When once they walk out that door, we don't know what they're gonna do, but we're gonna hope that
Yes.
the knowledge, the tools, and everything that we done gave them gonna come into play because
Right.
we
Absolutely.
know they're gonna make some fuck up because we done did some fuck up. But
Right.
I just want to say congratulations as being a mom and a mom with a special need kid because
Yep.
I know that I could only imagine that could be a challenge and scary at the same time. Just knowing
Definitely.
that I have this little person that's gonna need extra attention, and then this little person that I'm gonna have to fuck somebody up because they tell them something. So I
Right.
get that, and I'm proud of you for making that and sharing that with us. So I
Yes.
Oh,
want to
Yes.
say thanks
thank
for
you.
being
Thank you.
here with us.
Yes.
And I want to thank everybody for watching this special edition of Mothers that we're going to interview and bring on the show. And just keep a lookout. So I want to say happy Friday to everyone. And thanks for tuning in. I'm your girl, Arthur Erica. I have my fabulous co host with me, Arthur Kim, and I have my good sister T that's with us, and she's sharing us. So thank you for sharing and have a good day.
Have a good
Thank you.
day. Okay. Bye.
And happy Mother's Day.
Happy
Happy
your
Mother's Day
Mother's
to all the
Day.
mommies.
Yay.